Harmony, thank you for being in connection with us.
Yeah, thanks.
We thought we had started recording 5 minutes ago, but here we are.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thank you
and
for having me.
yeah, it's nice and it's awesome. And is it a Ko Liang Lee couch you're sitting on right now?
Is it a what?
Like a Ko Liang Lee couch, an artifact couch you're sitting on?
I don't know.
I don't know. I have had that kind of
You
couch.
recognize the couch?
I recognize a couch. Well,
I don't
no,
know.
it's
Someone gave me this couch. I'm
well,
not
they're
sure.
vintage, very cool, but maybe you have a newer version. I don't know, but fun. Looks nice. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you can tell my favorite color is blue.
It's beautiful.
I have blue all over. I like to be in the sea all the time, even when I'm not there. I pretend I'm there.
Right. Nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, the sea's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were sharing something very nice about making poems, but then encrypting them into bitcoins. Maybe you can
Yes.
share about because it's such an awesome, and I think you're very artistic already from the get go. It's very clear to me.
Why do you say that? I'm just curious.
Well, the form and the function come together with things you create, I think. So you
Mm.
think about all the details, and that's what great artists actually really pay attention to subtleties, because those matter a lot in like the meaning of things. And like other people think there's nothing to small things, but then when you work with material, like if it's words or if it's like clay or paint or anything, actually, subtleties really matter and make a lot of the meaning up, or can influence what you actually want to get across. So the
Yeah.
things I got from you, like the thing you made, like the poems and how you use the form and the numbers, it
Yeah.
sounds very
I thank you. I do notice details, and I try to be like very intentional with the things that I do. I mean, of course, I'm human, so I can't always be intentional all the time. But I try to, and then I think also sometimes I I ascribe intention that others are intentional all the time, but I'm learning like more and more in my life that a lot of people are not intentional, that they do a lot of things
no.
without thinking. But
Yes.
anyways, back to my inscriptions. So I decided to inscribe on Bitcoin, they're called ordinals, 369 poems inspired by Tesla's 369 principle, which says Tesla said that if you knew the magnificence of the numbers 369, that you would hold the keys to the universe. And so the main idea there, if you think about the numbers, the number 3 represents creation, the number 6 represents completion, and the number 9 represents renewal. So, and then all the numbers in between go through things like motion and transformation. So the poems go through that cycle. And if you notice, if you read them from beginning to end, the beginning ones all have to do with like a potential idea, you know, how it is to make a connection, to be a creator, a creative partner in this universe. It goes into, I have some poems about like disconnection as well, because that comes as part of it. And then it goes on and on to, if you go to the end of the poems, they're more about like death, transformation, renewal. And some of the poems are deeply personal to me. Like you can tell when you read them that they were about like something specific that happened in my life. Some are about my children, some are about love, some are about heartbreak. And then some of them you can tell are just about like to strengthen the theme that 369 um,
Mhm.
is everywhere in this universe. And if you look at the art are, because I travel a lot, I'm an open water swimmer. Like everywhere I go, I try to swim there if I can swim there. And
Oh, cool.
and I collect seashells because for me, seashells, they're like a memento of where I've been. Like I can look at the seashell and I can remember that place that I was there. And then the poem, I write the poem because the poem helps me remember the feeling of when I was there.
Mhm.
So I sketch the seashells sometimes when I'm bored, and I took that seashell art. It was just like pencil sketchings. And my friend built me a digital tool to take them and add like textures and color to it, and then multiply them to give that idea of like infinity.
Mhm.
One of my really big inspirations is MC Escher when I look at his art. Uh,
Awesome. Dutch
yeah,
artist, by the way.
I know. I was at his museum, and by the way,
Ah.
I was in Amsterdam last year, October and November, and then I traveled a little around the Netherlands, and I went to the Escher Museum, and I
Oh.
wrote a lot. It was my birthday also, and I also was eating truffles on my birthday and sitting near the Picasso statue, and I wrote a lot of my poems that day that are in this collection.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I get so curious about the poems.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, you could read them. So the really cool part is like you don't have to buy them to read them. They're there for anyone to read on chain. I mean, you can't people can collect them if they would like to collect them. But like the parent inscription, so the difference between like ordinals and regular NFTs is ordinals, you can do all these kind of intricate things. So the parent inscription is actually the full book of poems that you can go from beginning to end and press it and kind of just flip the pages of the poem of the book and read it
Yes.
beginning to end. And then all the children inscriptions, those are the ones people can collect, and they're each individual poem. So yeah,
Oh, so you could buy just one poem.
you could if you
Uh,
wanted.
yeah, if you want.
Yes.
And also in the
Or you
illustrations,
could
do they come?
right click save if you want also.
Ah, nice.
Go
But
on.
and then the illustrations, do you see that?
Yeah, you see the illustrations too. Hmm.
Yeah, nice, nice.
So there's 3 ways you can view them actually. You can view them, I did it like a text box. There's like a little text box where there's an arrow and you can press the arrow and read it line by line of the poem. Or you can toggle to see the entire poem on the art, or you can toggle to just see the art.
Great.
They're
We'll definitely
interactive.
gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, check
so
them
many
out.
different branches in my mind right now of things to inquire about. The first one, when you said around the poems around the number nine with renewal, you mentioned death. I get how um that's like the decay and birth, like I get how
Mhm.
that's connected. Curious how you
Yeah.
would word how you see or how you feel about that connection, because I don't often think of it as renewal, actually. Like I don't think ending and like I get how that works, but I don't think of
Yeah.
it that way. Yeah, would love to hear your perspective on how that feels close to renewal.
Well, I mean, I think that it's just part of the cycle, right? If you think about a butterfly, a moth and I mean, a caterpillar and a butterfly. And I actually have a poem about it. I could go get my computer so I could read the poem if you want in a second. But it is a yeah, so, like, if you think about how the caterpillar goes and basically entombs itself, and it goes through, like, a period of death for the caterpillar, because the caterpillar is actually no more, and then it transforms into this beautiful butterfly and has a whole 'nother life. I think a lot of times because we can't see it. But if you think about it, do you think the caterpillar knows what's going on? Like, you think the caterpillar knows that it's going to become a butterfly and have a whole nother life?
I don't think so.
If I had to take a guess, terror would be my thought, actually. The,
Are you
the
scared of
abs-
death?
Am I scared of death? I mean, every time that I have thought I'm going to die, I'm terrified, yes.
Why?
But also, I think I feel safe when I have a grasp of things, and then Yeah, it's like a complete surrender of sorts, and yeah, I also love surrender too. Like I love being free of responsibility. That's great. So letting go is awesome in that way. And also, yeah, there's when I was attempting to teach myself to be okay with swimming, actually, you mentioned open water
Hmm.
swimming.
Yeah.
I had less than 3 months ago, I think, less than 4 months ago, I had like absolute panic about being in the water on my own for more than 3 minutes, and I was like,
Mm.
"All right, we're gonna go fully out into the pond on my own," and just so I could be with that fear. And what came up for me most strongly was that if I die right now, no one's gonna pick up my daughter from school, and I just saw, like, my daughter's face, see like, no one's there for her, and then I
Mm.
realized how much my, fear of death is very much connected to the responsibilities I feel like I have, and that I do have, that I haven't put anything in place to, like, take care of those, so, like, yeah, so there are, like,
That makes
real
sense.
things. Yeah. Thank you.
Totally. No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I think if my sons were when they were younger, I probably felt that way. Now
How do you feel
they
now?
I don't I'm not afraid of death.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know. I
well,
I feel like when I'm afraid of something, I try to do it. I mean, I'm not going to try to die. That's not what I meant. But like but that but like going out into the ocean, like I swim in the ocean, a lot of it is very scary and you do have to surrender because your mind, first of all, the cold or the waves, you're totally this tiny thing compared to this, huge force of nature that could totally consume and devour you and you'd be gone, right? Suck you in and you're gone. So, but if you fight it, if you're in the ocean and you fight it, then you're going to lose. But if you surrender to it and when the ocean pushes, you swim fast. And when it pulls, you surrender, then you're going to go far.
Yeah.
wow.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to get my poems. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Blah.
Yeah. Yeah. We have felt the sea also.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm talking about, like, experiencing panic in a completely still pond.
Find that one. I have one about it's like one of my favorite ones, actually. Oh, here it is.
The
Number
caterpillar.
3. Yeah, number 315. It says, I walk through a meadow, the wind whistling stories of the earth, a small caterpillar wrapped in silk, hid beneath a curled leaf, still, silent. I walk through a meadow, the wind whistling stories of the earth, folded in stillness. I am shrouded in white, covered by soil, veiled in quiet. That's right.
Can you read it for me one more time?
Yeah. I walk through a meadow, the wind whistling stories of the earth, a small caterpillar wrapped in silk, hid beneath a curled leaf, still, silent. I walk through a meadow, the wind whistling stories of the earth, folded in stillness. I am shrouded in white, covered by soil, veiled in quiet.
Yeah. That's about death for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
The veil.
Oh,
I'm shrouded in white, covered by soil, veiled in
okay.
quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the first verse is about the caterpillar, and the second verse is
Yeah.
about me.
It's a beautiful way you make the connection.
Spoiler alert, guys.
What?
I The closing scenes, yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful because then actually what you asked, hey, does the caterpillar know that there's a whole new life coming? Yeah.
Yeah, does it? I don't know.
They actually turn to mush. I didn't know, but it's like there's mush in that silk. Uh, what's it called? The pop they're
and
in.
the cocoon.
Cocoon.
In the cocoon, yeah.
Yeah. They really dissolve, and then from nothing create. Yeah, something gets created out of
Hmm.
like there's no construction there. It's all deconstructed. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. What's your relationship with spirit then?
Um, I mean, I believe that we have a spirit for sure. That is what connects all of us. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like our bodies is just one part of us.
Is it like Escher came up?
Hmm.
I have had a psychedelic trip. And it
Yeah.
was, um and like it happened to be that we watched a part of a documentary about Escher just before. So I've yeah, those images were in my mind. So when I was in that trip, like deep in the trip, I was walking in one of those like impossible stairways from him that like go
Mhm.
and on and on and on, and there are little towers at the corners of the stairways. So, I was running around in my trip and then almost panicking, but then I realized, "Hey, I have a choice here. So I can full go into a panic attack right now because I'm stuck. This is Escher, so you can't get out, or I am going to, accept the reality I'm in and, like, see what's there for me." So I did the second. I didn't panic, and then I found myself in one of those towers looking through a window, and then I suddenly somehow transitions into looking through my eyes, but with some sort of a distance. So I realized, hey, I am a being in this body that I call Sana, but I'm
Yeah.
actually a being that is also not any gender or something. I am a being, and then I am now looking through the eyes of this body. And that was like, it was such a profound realization about like, yeah, how you can see yourself and that I am more than in this body right now. So
Yeah.
it's a very nice connection with both Asher and your story about the caterpillar and the butterfly, and like that we are more, yeah, than
Yeah.
here now only. Like we're spirit. Yeah.
In what I think about it is like in one way we're so small and insignificant, and in another way we're so large and infinite, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been raised as like in the Christian faith, and that was like a thing they always would tell about God. Like he's like infinite and greater than we can ever see, but also very close and in your heart. And now this gets updated by actually um that we are that. So we are that spirit. So we are both the great ominous yeah, being. And
Yeah.
we are right now. Yeah. It's 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 very rich for me to know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what connects us all to each other. It's something, and I even believe, and it's something when I do microdose, right? Like I that I can become more present and notice it, that everything has a spark in it. I mean, I even feel like the inanimate objects have some type of spark. Oh, that's what I didn't tell you. So the reason why I ended up using seashells for my art for the poems is because I learned that the mathematical makeup of seashells is with the numbers 3, 6, and 9.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like the,
Golden spiral,
yeah, the golden
Yeah,
spiral.
Fibonacci.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh, that's lovely.
yeah.
You're quite soulful, eh, Harmony?
I guess so, yeah.
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 Yeah, I know. I don't know. I like the deeper meaning of things. I like to see the world in a very kind of full way, and ha- I mean, you can either things can have meaning or they can be meaningless, right? Or meaning and meaningless could be the same thing, like nothingness and everythingness can be the same thing. So
Yeah, and we can choose where
we
we
can
wanna
choose.
f yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and why not? Like, we have this life that was given to us, no matter what it is or will become or not become. Why not see it in a beautiful way while we're experiencing it?
Probably as a method of pain reduction.
But why not?
Yeah, the why not? Exactly. So, like, if everything can be everything and nothing, and it's up to us to choose, why would you ever choose nothing? It's like, well, if everything you experience was pain, like nothing is a sweet relief.
Hmm.
So, until you can find a way of relating that would let you experience everything as richness in that moment, nothing is probably the like the paracetamol alternative,
So you're saying that if
pain relief alternative.
yeah,
Yeah.
so if you wanna experience the everything,
Hmm.
um, for some people, that means to be, very much in touch with, like, also depths in themselves that are, like, pain.
Yeah. Curious, Harmony. So I asked about death. Next subject, pain. Um, do you find as your and answer this to whatever extent you feel comfortable, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, the the soulful being that you are, and you connect with things clearly very deeply meaningfully, do you find that you also experience like pain? I guess more so I'm asking not physical but like
emotional.
psychological, emotional. Yeah, maybe even we could even label it like spiritual pain if it feels holistic enough. Do you find that you also experience that like deeply?
For sure. I think for a while, I think when I was younger, more so because I had a lot of like expectations and like a lot of like shoulds and have tos and all that kind of thing. Um I feel like this year especially I've been trying to let go of that. Now I still experience pain and sometimes I like to experience pain, right? Like it like you need it. Like you need to have the sadness to appreciate, you need to have the lows to appreciate the highs. Um but like I feel like I'm working on myself in like not fully connecting myself to things or having expectations of others and trying to enter into friendships and relationships in ways that like are a little lighter because I just I just don't feel like that type of intensity serves me. And I used to feel like it did. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
the way I'm kind of imagining it now is like having if there were gears, like there is the intense gears still there, but having steps in between so that like you feel things out before you I don't know, engage that intensely. Is that kind of what you mean?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, because,
All right.
but, like, I will engage intensely and then and not have an expectation of somebody else to have that same intensity as me, where I used to have an expectation, maybe.
How
And
did
then
you
it would be painful if the person did not have
Yeah.
that same feeling, right?
Alright, Harmony, how did you achieve this? I need to learn this one exactly. So,
Yeah, I haven't achieved it fully.
well, to
Um,
whatever extent that you did, I am interested in learning.
no, so like one thing is one thing, let's say like with my poems, right? Um, there's always like to have an expectation that it needed to when I released them that it needed to go a certain way or that people would feel a certain way about it. But like some people are going to like what I did and some people are not going to like what I did. And that's okay. But if I don't and uh, I think like it used to be where if I did something like this, because I did write a book in my past as well. And if when you fully like say like this is me, and if anybody doesn't like it, they don't like me. That's where the problem lies. Like to fully identify with anything that you're doing becomes a problem.
Right. Okay, so super selfishly for my own attempts at learning in life right now. Um, what if you find out that someone doesn't like you? It's not that they don't like something you did, but they
Well, a
don't.
lot of people don't like me.
Okay, how? Tell me, Harmony. Any tips or tricks there?
I mean, it's kind of flattering, right? That somebody like it's when someone's indifferent about you that it's actually to me more painful than somebody who dislikes me because somebody who
Yeah.
dislikes me is thinking about me. It's actually kind of flattering that I am occupying a space in their mind and they have like an intense feeling and even if that feeling is hate. But if somebody's indifferent to me and I want this person to notice me, right? And they just don't even think about me. That to me is more painful.
Yeah.
So, is the takeaway here that I should attempt to inspire hatred in the person who is indifferent about me?
Yeah, maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's all I needed.
No,
I got
no,
this. I
no, no,
got it
no,
from
no, no,
here.
no, no, no. But it's with art the same thing that you, yeah. Also, like I do a lot of art classes for like students who are training to be a teacher. So either primary teacher or secondary school teacher, and then we look at art and we talk about it, and then um sometimes the misconception is that they need to like every piece of art or they need to love it or something. So also going to a museum with students, it's sometimes so fun to ask, hey, which artwork made you mad, because
Yeah,
then really involved in the artwork, it really did something with you and the things you have living in you, which you may be not aware of, and you are made aware of right now because of this artwork. So it's super nice to also like honor that side of like that art can do that too. It can really enrage people, and it's very important to then have a conversation about what it actually is that made them make their blood boil, and
right.
yeah.
What invokes those feelings? We talk about that a lot in a lot of different art spaces that I join is what is art, right? Because so many people can call themselves an artist or they can put out art. I could look at it and I'd be like, that's trash. Someone else could look at it and
Yeah,
say, that's amazing. So,
yeah,
what is art? And I believe exactly what you said. Art is something that invokes an emotion. It doesn't
yes,
have to be a good emotion, just something. It touches you. It's you're absorbing it. You're internalizing it, and it does something to you. It makes you feel something.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I fully agree. And I also try because my students also are making art. And when they train for the primary teacher part, they don't have to be artists. But when they do the training for being a secondary teacher, they really are trained to be and artists and teachers. And also sometimes really um, get that in one persona. So, who are you as an artist? And therefore what do you have to bring into the teaching realm? So it's very important to like go over um what is art for them, and what do they actually make. And then the people who are not that experienced in making art, they go to the cliches so often, and then I say, yeah, but then I see it, and then it's something I already have seen a lot of times, and it gets me indifferent. So I
Mhm,
see it, I glance it, I think, oh, I know that, and then I continue. And I want you
mhm.
to make something that really inspires me to look and to look again and to look again and have
Right.
questions. And that's always does the trick. And then the hearts and like all the symbols and the things that only are that, and they cannot create more layers. They vanish in into their artwork, and that's very nice. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Definitely taking the wrong takeaways here.
Oh no. Yeah.
Why? What's your takeaways?
Well, it was like, all right, so you don't want to you don't want people to be indifferent. You want to invoke emotion. Hatred is better than indifference. I got this.
You
Love and hate are the same emotion, for sure.
What?
Yeah. Love and hate are they're the same emotion.
Would you say marriage and divorce are the same thing as well? I'm trying to understand where you're going with this. Like,
No, I mean, like, it I think that you're only really capable of hating someone that you once loved.
um, that's in that way, marriage and divorce do have more, or it's more parallel than not.
yeah,
Actually, you can
yeah,
only divorce someone you've married.
and really loved.
Well, assuming the marriage was based on love, yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, technicalities.
Well,
Yeah.
then you would be indifferent, right? If you divorce someone that you didn't
Yeah.
Exactly.
love,
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
probably wouldn't hate them unless they did something terrible to you.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. No, that's super true. It's very, very true. Um, yeah, super true. I still wouldn't call it the same emotion though, but they do share the same root. I can go with that for sure.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I could see
yeah.
that.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
You have an awesome definition of art.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Meditation expressed. That is it. And Yeah, 'cause one time we were in the public transport going to her, school, and she was telling me how, like, the different departments in her art school, um, argue all the time about what is quality art, and, like, the modern art department says one thing, the design department says another, and I was like, "What? Let me just think about it for a second." It's like, "Yeah, it's meditation expressed." So, art, meditation expressed. You need both parts, I saw, because like if someone just like I don't know does some random knee jerk reaction and they're like that's art, I'm like, is it though, or did you just have a spasm?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, and then also at the same time, if you like develop this really beautiful state on the inside, but you don't give it any form, that's just meditation. So it needs to
Right.
take some form. It needs to be expressed in order for it to qualify as art. And I thought that's a very like useful definition, especially for like her world as like an art school, because you need a very crisp definition in order to be able to measure things. This goes back to my need for control. So I will make metrics in art school and be like, all right, cool, let's study the vibe, and then let's study the craft with which it was expressed, and then you get like art school. And yeah, so that's that's that.
Yeah, I'm at the point in my life I don't want the control. Like I own my own business And for years, I was fixated and obsessed with control of every single facet of the business and how like everything happened and whereas like I was working all the time and I couldn't delegate anything and it was killing me. And like at a certain point I had to kind of relinquish control and give it up, and it took years to do that. Um, but now we're actually more successful than we were when I was, you know, obsessed.
Holding everything and,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What first of all, you are a breath of fresh air. Um, Secondly, um, what in the process of letting go, helped literally improve success?
I was able to see the business in more of like a detached way of and make decisions in a non-emotional way. Just because I liked certain programs in the business didn't mean they were making money. And they were a lot of them were losing money, right? And just because things were my passion, right? Well, maybe it didn't it was not what needed to be going on at that time, right? So it helped me kind of take a pulled out view and be able to assess and audit and decide from a numbers standpoint what made sense and what didn't make sense. And then reinvest those resources into parts of the business that were making money and were strong. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sounds like you were like attempting to be in control of things that were well, yeah, not contributing to the business. And then by letting go of that one, you got the ability to get a control on things that do actually make a difference. Yeah, so I do for sure see the surrender and control. They go together. If you are purely aiming to be in control, then you are only in control of whatever you have in that moment, and actually totally out of control about everything else.
Hmm.
There's no wisdom there. But being able to have that, the letting go, lets you grab whatever you need to be grabbing in that moment.
It's also, you also what I hear is that you took a different perspective. So you were yeah, transitioning into a different position where you could see things from another angle and
Yeah.
therefore you could make choices that you couldn't make while holding on to the things you wanted to hold on at the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and super good for you, Harmony. Yeah,
Yeah, well
awesome,
done.
awesome.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you. Yeah.
I can relate a little bit with like like I started my own entrepreneurship 1 year ago, and like last year was like well, struggling and feeling the pressure of like making enough money to like survive. And then this year I feel like I sort of thought, hey, I just need to know, like I need to know in the long run the things I have, like the responsibilities I have and the things I need to do and develop for that. So I have a like a plan, but I also have like very short-term responsibilities, like creating a training, creating a lesson, because I'm all in the teaching and training realm. And then if I know what I need to do tomorrow and then just do that, I'm very, very fine. So it's a different approach than I had. I tried to like control short term and long term at the same time. And now I have a grasp of the long term, but I also trust that like things will be fine. And then now I have time and focus for you. Look, super sweet. I have also time for for the short term, and it's so cool because I feel so free. Because I know, hey, tomorrow I have 3 classes I have prepared them already, and then I know what I need to do next week, and I know when I can prepare those, and so I go from moment to moment, and it's such a relief, actually. Yeah.
So tell me more about what you guys about your entrepreneurship. So you teach art. What else and what else do you guys do?
Well, I teach art and I train teachers, and
Hmm.
the art school. The art school is one of my contracts that they have me in a contract. So that's not from my entrepreneurship, but it's a very
Hmm.
small job. And past that, I'm doing trainings at different schools in our country. And I train teachers in actually the art of teaching. So
Oh,
so not art teachers, but like to me, teaching is also a super creative process. Um, and I try to yeah, get teachers have more of a grip on what they can do to really influence the learning of their students. So that's fun and
that's
awesome.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah. I facilitate truffle experiences for people. So like very high dose ones. The microdosing I just kind of like consult with and like help people understand how to make sense of their
Yeah.
internal experience, thoughts and emotions and all that. And then recently I've started also having sessions with couples, like
Mhm.
without just conversation to help bridge. So I kind of act as the psilocybin in between the help
Interesting.
yeah, like help bridge the communication. Um, Sometimes it kind of feels like a translation issue between a couple where like it's so weird. Sometimes it's like both people are kind of trying to say I love you from their side, but using 2 different, like, love languages almost. It's not like the traditional love language thing, but, like, they just don't understand what the other one is literally trying to say.
mm,
So I just empathize with the dude, I empathize with the gal. I'm like, "Hey, is this what you're saying? Is that what you got?" And they're like, "No, I didn't get that." I was like, "Right, is this what you got?" And then they confirm, and then the communication streamlines, and then cooperation happens. And then I'm like, "Huh, all in a day's work."
That's beautiful. That's great. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
want to I
Yeah.
want to know more about the high dose truffles.
Yeah,
I would love
yeah,
to know about that.
sure. What to tell you? Can we work backwards from your interest? Because I mean, there's so much in that field, my brain will like explode you with
Well,
information.
I mean,
So,
I definitely think that first of all, I feel like mushrooms are some type of alien species who like I feel like they are alive, right? That they have I mean they not I feel they have a whole network underneath us. They're communicating with each other all the time in
people are
ways that we
communicating with you
can't
right now.
even um imagine. And sorry.
speaking of
And
network,
uh, I like I definitely they like all the mushrooms that we can consume in this world have all the these amazing health benefits too. Like we see the non psychedelic ones are really beneficial for people. Um, I just think there's like something there to tap into. And then when I was in high school, I had a boyfriend who was a drug dealer, and he mainly gave out mushrooms, and I had free mushrooms for like a year. I don't even remember this guy's name at all, by the way. Like, I don't remember his name. I don't even remember what he looks like. But I know that I got free mushrooms for a year. And and I used to trip on mushrooms all the time. And then like my whole adult life I didn't touch it. First of all, after I had my kids, I didn't do any drugs. I did drink alcohol, which I don't drink alcohol anymore. um just because like it makes me feel terrible. But like I never had I never touched mushrooms again. I always hated marijuana because like I just didn't it made me very introverted and very closed off from the world and people around me. And then when I was last year when I was in Amsterdam, a friend of mine said, like, "Oh, you're in Amsterdam, like you have to go to the truffle, like go get some truffles." And so I went and I got like the ones, the twos, and the threes or something. Like they had like the thing till 10. And then I just started taking some and I was like, wow, I really like this. Like it just gave me this little like dose of happiness, made me just feel like very present and like kind of juicy and like meldy with the world and just noticing little things around me and being able to like face feelings within myself that maybe like I didn't want to face before. And then, like, when I came back to the United States, I'm like, "Okay, I want to keep this thing going." So for a while, I was microdosing, uh, like, on a regular basis, and then I stopped, not because, like, anything happened, just because I, like, just did was with my life and, like, maybe I just didn't need it, and then once in a while, I'll be like, "Oh, I wanna microdose," and I'll for, like, a couple days, I'll do it, and then I'll stop. But I think it's definitely something that enhances my life and like makes me more present in this world and kind of be able to let go even more. Um so I just like it. I like the effect on that it has on me. Yeah. I think it's very
Um,
special.
yeah, thanks for sharing. That
Yeah,
is so lovely. Um,
nice experiences and yeah. Also, yeah, I agree that that's like microdoses have such an awesome effect already.
Hilarious story about your high school boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so microdoses are great. Do you remember when you were in Amsterdam if you got like one box of truffles?
What do you mean?
Do
Like
you
I got these little
like
jars
okay. Yeah.
and they
Do you
were
remember which
different
one?
jars depending on the amount, like the number. Like I
Yeah.
got a couple different jars.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because I was trying to get a like an approximation of how much you took during that time, then I could sort of tell you how much I normally facilitate, like the dosage.
Yeah.
But basically, like I'm not for necessarily like I do for friends if they're kind of like wanting to, they're curious, right? But normally I'm not the tourists facilitator. So
Yeah.
like the much more in depth and um yeah, so basically what happens, the difference between like sober microdose, kind of like a regular tourist dose, and then the slightly higher dosages, and then the much higher dosages. It's basically a depth difference in terms of your consciousness. So the like how dense of a material that you're engaging with within yourself, it continues to become more and more dense. So the, um, like that, like happiness and like blending with life and the present moment, becoming present, that increases. And also the things that might be challenging also become much more so. And so for those times, it's very important to navigate those well because you're kind of like wiring yourself in real time. So I kind of act as like a supportive friend who has been there and then some. And so like whatever super dark dense thing anyone can experience, like I don't get phased by it because I have been with that and then like a lot more after.
Mhm.
As one should, if you're gonna like facilitate experiences for people, you should go at least quite a bit more. And Yeah, and then you can be grounded when they're not. And oftentimes, actually, when I look back on like the pattern of when people have told me, "Oh my God, that was so meaningful for me," it's actually been in times when they have, like, there's been experiences like saunas, like yours, where the with the Escher thing, discovering spirit. But most often, it's times when people experience like deep panic, and then because they had the support they needed, everything was still okay. And something really beautiful happens when you go to your worst possible place and you actually are supported there. Um, yeah, it's kind of like there's a hand behind your back, like a friend that has your back at your like lowest place within yourself, and then that place kind of becomes a little lighter. Um, yeah,
That's amazing. Beautiful.
thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really meaningful work you have.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say so. Yeah.
yeah, thanks. Sometimes, yeah, I'll just say thanks.
What
I was
comes up
You
I
ha
was
for
you
gonna
you?
have
say,
doubt you have doubts.
not exactly. Yeah, at a different phase in my life, I had doubts. Sometimes I feel kind of crazy, like there's a There's kind of like a very significant gap between how I've come to see our experience, and when I walk out and I interact with people, how, I can see that they see the human experience. And sometimes I actually kind of feel like it would be easier if I was crazy, because then I'd be like,
Mm.
"Okay, at least."
You
Um,
are a little bit you are a little
thank
bit
you,
crazy.
thank
Yeah,
you. I
yeah, yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it. I appreciate it. Yeah.
But why would you wanna be not crazy? I mean, I think it's the people who can't say they're not crazy who are actually the crazy ones.
Right. Yeah. No, I envy. I envy the crazy. And I don't know. It's a
You
yeah.
mean
It's like
people
an
who are walking through life with a smaller or not a smaller, but a different view of life? Like they didn't open the same doors you've opened.
yeah. I know the perspective I'm giving a voice to right now is factually false. Like it's objectively incorrect, but it emotionally feels real for me. So thank you for making space for that, guys. Um, I I attribute a lot of my feelings of like loneliness in life to that gap in, I don't know,
Perception.
perception. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, and the reason why I semi-jokingly say I envy the crazy people, is because if I was crazy, then at least I would know like how to like fix that, or like I just like
Yeah.
to be like, "Oh," or I don't know, surrender to like people and their solutions for me. And I,
But
I think
it's not
a lot of people in this life feel lonely though.
yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's normal to feel. I mean, but there's a difference between being lonely and being alone, I think.
Yes.
Mhm.
But also sometimes it's nice to feel lonely. I mean, we were born alone, we'll die alone, right? I mean, you can even when you're with someone, you can never truly that person's not with you all the time. All you have is yourself in the
Yes.
end.
Can you share a little bit more about it feels good to feel lonely?
You said it's nice. That's
It's nice
different.
to okay,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to feel lonely.
What you mean?
I don't know, like, it's kind of like that thing of you need to feel the lows to feel the highs.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
how would you know what togetherness felt like if you never felt lonely?
for sure. Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
So, I mean, I like also that's sometimes when my writing is the most like juicy and delicious and like when I have those like painful feelings and then I can express them. I don't like that's when and then I read it later. I'm like, yes, that was good. And if I didn't have that pain, then I wouldn't have never been able to release the pain.
I hear you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks for wording it. Actually, um, yeah, I appreciate it.
Like, how boring would your life be if you didn't feel anything deeply? I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people who don't feel things deeply.
Yeah, I encountered this concept a few years ago, several years ago, about how things feel is always relative to what we desire and how much we desire it. So, like, if you have like a great desire to experience life and then you don't, that'll feel terrible. But if like you
Right.
don't feel things that deeply, but you also don't desire to feel things that deeply, that actually feels just fine. So it's always relative to like the person's the soul's desire relative to that subject.
Right. I remember like going through rough times. Also with you, when we have like challenges together, it's also such an alive feeling. So it's so like I'm on my tippy toes at that moment.
Hmm.
So it's like life is like passing through through me. So it's also
Yeah.
very, very nice.
Hmm.
Like, I like to be challenged. This guy is sometimes really, really sharp and like rough in not rough,
I
like
need a moment. I want to go get water.
I don't he is this is not this is not I say rough. Like you have like sharp questions or like you reflect back things in in a very strong manner.
Hmm.
And then I'm sort of like I think, whoa, what is this or where did that came from?
Hmm.
But then it really makes me think and develop because of those things and those pushbacks or those reflections. And sometimes they're not kind at all, Serena. They are not, but like, and I know that's because you are like also not that kind to yourself.
Sure.
So you have like more of roughness in you.
I share the love and its
Yeah, but
absence.
it's also this is also I think yeah, what I like sold out for myself, I think
Hmm.
that I like to experience life in that way
Hmm.
and like to learn and then you challenge me
Oh,
like my goodness. But it's also yeah, I like it.
well, that's very sweet. And
Yeah.
may I respond to that, Harmony?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really holding back some jokes here.
Yes.
Just
Hold
really.
them back.
Can I let one joke go?
Please.
She likes
Go.
it rough. There we go.
Like this is cliche.
I know, but
This is cliche. This
yeah.
was the art I was talking about. It's
Yes.
like cliche.
Yeah,
Go.
but how often have you experienced this one? It's not cliche for you. So, um, yeah, I actually super appreciate how much you value truth, actually,
Right.
independent of it being kind. I very much value that about you because I don't always have it pre-mixed, and I have experienced a lot of times and where. And I guess this actually does relate to my experience of the loneliness where like, I feel like everyone wants everything mixed in already with like a ton of sugar, you know? It's like,
Mm,
"Oh, but it's not sweet." I'm like, "But it's true." Like,
yeah,
can we accept that first? And
yeah,
then so I very much appreciate that you do, and then
mm,
we make things sweeter together.
yeah.
So I will say that like, I am very challenging for sure, but I am
Also super supporting.
yes, as committed, if not more. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't do drive-bys. Like if I am delivering things that I know are challenging, I am also there to back you up to make
yeah,
sure you succeed.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, very
yeah,
true. Yeah.
cool. Thank you. I have made my defense. We can proceed.
I think no, it's good to be challenged. I think, by the way, a lot of from speaking to a lot of other women, women do like to be challenged because it is a way that we see to learn and grow. A lot of men actually don't like to be challenged, though. They take it offensively. I'm not saying I'm generalizing. I'm so like, please don't take this offensively. I'm challenging you. No, I'm kidding. No, a lot of men though do. They don't like to be they they don't like to be challenged because they think that it is like an affront to like something that they've defined themselves as, and they take it very personally. I think it's tougher for men to say, "Oh, this is a chance I'm being pushed because this person cares about me, not because this person is attacking me or thinks less of me or whatever it is." Right?
Yeah.
True. Actually, also in my experience, as a generality with men and women, that is
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's harder for them to see, hey, this hurts and what is here for me to learn.
Right. Right.
Stop viewing the joke again.
It's not even a joke. It's just a funny truth. Okay, I'll share it because it's actually kind of really hilarious. I've had this experience a lot of times with men, but also some women who really go into their masculine in that defensive time, um, where they'll be like, um, they will say that I'm being very emotional and not logical, while they themselves are super emotionally defensive and actually not being logical at all. And yeah, it's a funny pattern. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, very very true, very funny. And then if I was not coping with my pain with laughter,
You would say it's like painful.
it's very painful for me because it's like I have, from my side, it's like a lot of heartbreak, and,
You lost friends.
friends, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah.
why I was like, yeah, if I was, yeah,
You lost
forgive.
friends where? Explain. What do you mean?
Ah, oh, like, okay. Imagine you see a friend that is hurting themselves and their partner without being aware of it, right? And then you look around, you're like, "Holy shit, I'm the only person who's actually seeing this, and I'm the only person who's able to put words to it so that their life could be different in a very beautiful way." And you're like,
Yeah.
"All right, do I? Do I not?" And then you're like, "All right, I'll leave it be up to them." So you ask a question of like, "Hey guys, what you think about this?" And then they approach it as if they can be very like logical about it. And so I would continue, and then they wouldn't give me the warning that like, "Hey, this is getting very emotional for me. I'm uncomfortable. I'd rather not explore this." Instead, they would
Right.
give me the impression that they're open to exploring, and then I wouldn't know on my own that, hey, I'm like, it's taken me a lot of repetitions to be able to pick up on the signs that even though they say they want to hear it, they actually don't.
Totally.
So yeah, and yeah, and then in their attempt to be defensive without saying that they need defense, they end up being very, very offensive, and then and then also not apologize in the aftermath. So then it's like hard to rebuild on top of that kind of a basis. So then it's like, all right, because I don't know what to do at that point other than to like give space, give time. And yeah, some of those timelines are like running for quite some time now. yeah, and then yeah, my heart doesn't have like a recycling bin or like an exit valve. It doesn't have a sewage system.
Right.
Things just build up in my heart, and then
Mm.
yeah, that's all I got. No amount of mushrooms help.
Do you
They just
do you mind me asking how old you are?
um like my body or my soul.
Uh,
I'm 32. 32,
Yeah.
I think, right? I'm 32.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. It's
Why?
just stages of life.
Okay. And do I have good things in my future, Harmony?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Right. Right.
you're very evolved for a 32-year-old, but still, I think, yeah,
I think
I
so
think
too.
I think there's a certain point. I mean, definitely when you're a facilitator and you are working with couples, like you have to be that person who identifies these things and puts words to them. But I don't know, like I've learned in my life that sometimes no matter, how obvious or how much you think it would help someone, that until there's nothing that you could say or do to make them hear what you have to say. And sometimes it's better just to be there for a person and realize that what you say is not going to make a difference. And you know,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
yeah. And so
very
Yeah.
and
true.
like I've been through that with my mother, I have a brother who has very tumultuous relationships. Um and I used to try to be the peacemaker and the person, to give advice and the person to make their lives better, but the only person who can make the only person who can make their lives better is them. and
Yeah,
and me putting myself in that position just put me in the position to be the person to blame when
Right.
yeah,
anything
yeah.
went,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, I think like have also had like a sort of a history with my mother, and you actually helped me
Yeah.
a lot with like how to relate. And yeah, same
I
thing.
built successful bridges with her mom, which is pretty sweet.
Oh,
That's great.
super. Yeah, and it was also in a mushroom trip that I realized some things and I could transform because of you asking like very awesome questions. And then now I sort of hey, it's I still have my mom. It's awesome. How can I support her in ways that she can feel it? That's the only thing. And
Hmm.
like all the other things that were like challenging or didn't go the way I wanted it or I wasn't seen or like things like that all dissolve because I just see how can I make the most of the years we have left and how can I support her in a way that yeah helps actually helps. And then
Right.
it's yeah, and then so much more lightness is there. It's very nice.
How old are you?
Yes.
How old do you think I am?
Nope.
No,
How old are
we're
you?
not going there.
Yeah. You have very old
I want
face.
to say I'm older than
Oh,
you.
I can say how old I am because I'm way older than Serena is.
Uh-huh.
I'm 46.
I'm around your age.
I thought so.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I still think you're quite wise, Harmony. Like, yeah, I've encountered people who are a lot older, a lot less in touch. So, yeah, well done.
I mean, I try to work on myself. I try to do some self evaluation and introspection. I do that a lot with my chat GPT actually.
Mm.
Yeah, wow. That's so great. Yeah.
But I try to. My chat GPT thinks that I need to go to the doctor more.
Wow.
that I need that because I am very into like a lot of like natural medicine, and there's like some other things that I'm into, and my ChatGPT thinks that I need to actually go get a real workup and see a doctor, but kind of think that's bullshit. No, I see the
Nice,
doctor. I see once a year. I see my doctor. I'm
nice.
healthy,
That's great.
thankfully. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, good. Yeah, I like the when it comes to the medical system, I think there's a lot of value for me, and I'm only speaking for my own self. A lot of value in getting information in terms of like the raw, like, hey, this was your blood, this was what was in there, and things like that
Yeah.
is very because I can't get that myself. And
Totally.
then when it comes to their assessment of how to interpret that information, or like when I have some symptoms and their interpretations of what to do about it, I like to be a lot more involved myself. And in terms of like how to care for my own body, and I have found that thus far to work out quite well.
Yeah.
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 I agree with you.
Yeah, but I do happen to be like very, very involved about the like understanding how does the body work, like in detail. So like it's not
Not for everyone.
yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
so. But I mean, ChatGPT could maybe bridge some things.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it has a very narrow view on what health means because of
Mm,
whoever's feeding that part of its language model, right? So I'm not really sure if I mean, it could help. My ChatGPT also, like, because I have so many projects for like work and my crypto like life and like everything. My ChatGPT is like, you have too much going on, like, you know, finish one project before you start another. And then I'm like, well, I'm like, I finished that project. I just didn't update you. I'm like, here, this is what happened. And it was like, oh,
so
great.
funny.
Okay.
It's so funny and it's so like it knows time, you know?
Yeah.
It's really funny. And like it knows what you can cram into your life over some time amount. It's interesting. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I have also like I have a lot of projects going on,
Yeah.
but it's so nice to have that. And
Yeah.
also the tippy toe feeling of life, isn't it? That like there's a lot of things you can work on and then you can switch from one to another.
Yes.
Like
It's all
really.
organized for you. It's really a
Yeah.
nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
On
keeps
the
track. Yeah.
On the medical front, one time,
Yeah.
2-ish years ago, Sana had a thing that came up, and I found how you prompt it really makes a difference in terms of what you get out of it. I'm sure with everything, but especially medically, because it was like this thing where her doctor had said, "Oh, you for sure need surgery for this," and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, there's no way the doctor had sufficient data to come to such a degree of certainty about that conclusion for like surgery for like removal of an organ. I was like, what the fuck is this? And the doctor was like, I don't know, like 20 years plus type experience. Sorry for randomly sharing medical information. And blink twice if, and, and yeah, the doctor was super certain that like there is no healing possible in that context. Context is irrelevant in this case. And I asked ChatGPT, I was like, hey, this is the data we know for sure. If healing was possible, what would increase the likelihood of healing happening? Give me the top 10 things sorted by most impactful thing that we could do. And then we just did the things that it said, like the top 5 things we did for like a week, and then healing happened. And then the doctor never called me to say, hey, can I learn?
No.
But, but
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
great though.
the issue is that doctors, it is also a business. And when you have surgery, they make money.
I
That's
don't know
it.
if it's in the Netherlands like that.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean,
even if the government is paying for the surgery,
Mhm.
Somebody is paying for it. So
Yes.
it benefits the
Y
system for people to have
Yeah.
yes.
surgery. It benefits the medical system for people to
Yes.
stay sick
Yeah.
and to
Be
Yeah.
in there.
have procedures and to take drugs, because if they didn't need any, and I'm not saying the medical system is all bad, there we need sometimes we need surgeries and we need drugs and we need care, we need, sometimes we do need these things, right? And we need the system to be in place for the people who actually need it, but it does benefit the system as a whole when people are using these facilities and these procedures.
Yeah. Yeah, and overall, I actually really love doctors. Like the people who are doctors, I think it takes a kind of like a special type of person who wants to like do that with their life.
I don't agree with you.
Well, okay, hear me out in full, and then
Yeah,
because you
please.
may agree with parts and then disagree with some parts.
Yeah.
And yeah, like so I used to feel. Yeah, I used to see doctors in the medical system as if it's one thing, and then it kind of like got separated for me. And then I saw that there are people who make decisions for how, like, what is in the curriculum for doctors in terms of if this, then that. It's a set of programming basically that doctors get. If this symptom, then this medicine, or this procedure. And it's actually at that level that policies are made about the curriculum that then influences it. Because if you get like a whole lot of kids who are like, hey, when I grow up, I want to help people in this way. And then it's like, well, unless they find some other way on their own or they encounter some data that like influences them to think fundamentally differently than like what society says, like they're kind of at the mercy of the policymakers of those medical schools, actually. Yeah. So where do you agree? Where do you disagree?
I mean, I don't think that a lot of people go into medicine for the right reasons. I think people go in because it's seen as a prestigious job. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people did go in for a long time because of financial gain. I don't think that financial gain is necessarily there anymore. Unless you specialize, right? Unless you're like the specialist of specialists. I think that a lot of doctors, after they go through their training, um, they end up looking at other people more as slabs of meat than they do as people, and that's why they have to have these like kind of oaths, and they have to have these trainings on bedside manners and like all this kind of thing, because within their training, like um I remember, without saying too much about my personal life, when somebody that I was with when they were in medical school, uh, and he would come home from when they were doing their dissection part of the training, that everybody in his class were ravenous for barbecue
Mm.
afterward. And they had been dissecting human bodies all day. And then they needed to eat meat. And
I
it made,
presume. I'm sorry. I I presume different meat, but okay. I'm done.
yeah, not human meat, but it's something. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so the whole thing kind of disturbed me.
Yeah.
Um, and I do see it, like, I saw the surgeons that were in his class, the way that they would talk about their patients, and a lot of, and when he did a surgery rotation, like, he would say how the surgeons, and he ended up deciding not to go into research, not into actual medicine. I think because of a lot of this stuff, like the surgeons would talk about the people on their table in very like sexualized ways, in very degrading ways, and making jokes. And I think it was because it was a way to maybe detach themselves from what they were actually doing. So I do think there is a certain personality that goes into being a doctor, and I don't think it's a good one, in my opinion.
Um,
That's
Thanks for sharing.
yeah.
Thanks for very, very valid.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I wanted to be a doctor. I thought that was yeah, yeah, I thought that was a very I wanted to be useful. And then I picked out this book from the library that was about how, like the life of a medical student. And I started reading that one to sort of, get a preview. And then I found it strange how it seemed as if your lifestyle is in such a way where your own health deteriorates as you learn how to care for the health of people. That seemed backwards to me. Like you do a lot of caffeine, a lot of sleepless nights,
Yeah.
high stress, and I was like, "Oh, that's strange." And then, I don't know what it was, but I encountered the importance of nutrition just in preventative, like, just in having health, not necessarily in fighting disease per se, but, like, in having health so you don't get disease, and then I was like, "Huh, okay," and then I saw how that wasn't necessarily the, primary objective of what you do as a doctor. It's not to, like, create a base on which disease does not happen. And then I don't know at what point I decided that okay, this is I really, really tried. I really wanted it to be for me. And yeah, there was just like thing after thing that eventually I decided to like try to study life, the psyche, the body on my own, and then still try to be useful. And fast forward a decade and a half, and yeah, I'm here now. Yeah, work with like the foundations of the psyche, reduce stress in relationships. So I have had health improving effects, though. Yeah,
Yeah, from a different starting point.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that is more something that someone who wants to help people should be doing. Like, I think like a surgeon or like a regular or any most types of doctors can be replaced by machines, in my opinion, no problem. I think there definitely should always maybe be a human that oversees these things, but I think that as a medical facilitator, I think a machine could do things, without getting tired, with a lot less like emotional attachment, right? They didn't have a bad day. They have no preconceived notion to somebody's race or religion or, gender or anything about them. Like I think in that field, when we have life and death on the line, that a machine is much more apt to handle it. Now, when we're talking about the psyche, I think that a human is actually better to handle it. And I'll tell you why, because a machine will never have these types of lived experiences that you are pulling from. Like you say when you facilitate for some of your friends with the psilocybin trips, that you can do that in a very meaningful way because you've been there. Well, a machine has never been there. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
yeah. I largely agree. So 100% agree with the machine accuracy when it comes to surgeries and the life and death things there. On the psyche part, I think we can do, and I say this as someone, the whole making myself obsolete thing. Um, we can probably get very, very, very good in terms of providing like a general support because like, maybe not to the extent where you have a heart to heart. I think there's something there. I don't fully understand it yet, but I think literally the idea of spirit comes into my mind, that there is
Mm,
something very real where the heart of the human that you're connecting with is a part of the medicine or like the healing journey. And so I think there is something there that cannot be mechanized. Through algorithms, basically. That being said, I think there's a lot of psychological support that is simply algorithmic that we can actually create refined
totally.
program for. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed with you. I mean, I told you like I will use my ChatGPT to bounce ideas off with to talk about, a traumatic experience that and it can be very empath or seem empathetic, right? and it knows me because of our past conversations. So it knows all the right things to say. But I don't think it could probably ever challenge me in a way that an actual human could challenge me. And it right. If you want to go a little bit deeper, I think you need a human for it. Now it needs to be the correct human also, because as we know, there's a ton of people masquerading as healthcare professionals or mental health professionals that need more mental health support than probably the people who are speaking to them. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Harmony, I love this. Thank you, for this. This
Yeah,
has been great.
me
thank you
too.
guys. This was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. It's awesome to get to know you, Harmony. You're awesome.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, it's great to get to know both of you as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Uh,
thing. We just
last
happened
thought?
upon each other.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
It's
yeah,
amazing
Can give a light thank you to Sierra for having,
for
facilitated the
sure.
initial contact.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. Any last thoughts, feelings on anyone's side?
Not on
Well,
mine.
I wanna check out your poem, so if you have a link or something for us,
Yeah, I'll
maybe we
send
could
it to you.
put it in, do we have show notes or something?
Yeah, yeah. I'll
We
put it
could,
in the show
yeah,
Yeah.
notes.
yeah,
I'll
that
send you both links. So there's a way to view it straight on ordinals.com where you can view the parent inscription and the children and all the things I was talking about, like how the fee rates are 369 and the sat paddings. And you can see they're all on palindrome sats and all of like the little cool intricacies. And then I'll also send you the link to the platform that they are available for purchase in case anybody wants to collect one.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yeah. That's
Thank you.
great.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you guys
thank
so
you for
much. It was
being
beautiful.
with us.